Well, here we are with the Stern Lander, the first of the bad class. Bad herself, 99% completed. I'm waiting for one more boat, and I was going to put a Fleetscale Sea Whiz on top, Phoenix Sea Whiz, but I don't think it really needs it, because the idea of this ship is that it will always operate under the cover of the Wisteria corvette or the Falanook air defence frigate at a minimum, and those provide really good close-in air defence and, for the Falanook, area air defence. Now, she does have two 7.62 RWSs. She does have a radar and an anti-collision radar. She does have an electro-optical IR system and SATCOM communication suite. So maybe she doesn't actually need to have a Sea Whiz on top, because she can protect herself against small drones from here. And like I said, she'd always operate under the cover of the Falanook or the Wisteria. Now, this is a conversion of the Fleetscale landing ship medium hull. I used plasticard and putty, car filler putty, to fare in the front. And the idea of a stern lander, and the big difference between something like this S&S Models landing craft vehicle personnel 4, is that the ramp is at the rear, and she effectively butt rams the shore, for want of a better naval term. She's got concealed bow thrusters down here, concealed anchor gear and cables, like all of my ships. They're nice and stealthy, and she's very low, and she has enough accommodation for about 60 soldiers. And she can carry, in this guise, she's carrying 6 LAV-25s of the Naval Infantry Light Forces. She can have 2 Pacifics, one on each side, with these cranes as davits. Now, the key thing to enable this to be successful is, once she's bum-rammed the shore, for want of a better naval term, she can lower her stern ramp and everything can drive off, and then she can power away straight out of the danger zone to go and get some more reinforcements or bring in more units. And she is able to do this, and the key here is these kedge anchors at the rear. So as she comes into the shore, she drops the kedge anchors on each side, and once she's unloaded, the ramp goes back up, and then she hauls these anchors back in, and they take her off the beach so she doesn't get stuck. Now, being a LSM, there's the bad, she has quite tucked away propellers inside here, and they're well protected on the sides and underneath from the anchors, the kedge anchors getting caught up, and any rocks or anything like that getting caught up in there. And I've built this conversion really mainly from plasticard and a few bits and bobs, some accessories from the internet, such as the life rafts. And she is a really nice model. Now, I would tip her up, but all the LAVs will come off. And the stern lander is really a fundamental change to my doctrine. I need to build the LCAC, the landing craft air cushioned, but the landing craft air cushions come from bigger ships, like a big capital amphibious ships. And the idea of the stern lander is she operates with my RAB-C radars, and she's less vulnerable because she's smaller, she's lower, she's a harder to hit target. She can get in even into riverine areas and littoral areas, and she can get right up to where the troops are needed for raiding. Now, the idea of the Naval Infantry Light Forces is they're not designed to be involved in long-term combat operations. They're a raiding force, and that's perfect for what I need in the what-if world. So this, like I said, is a really crucial build for me. And she's come out really quite nicely. She's painted black with airbrushed olive drab. And I've given her a light weathering, where things like the chains and stuff like that, which would always rust, and use some Fleetscale decal stickers to give the load lines, and there's the propeller warning markings on her stern. So I think she's come out quite well. I hope you like it. This is a new concept. I'll do a bigger video when I'm feeling a bit better and when the hips aren't playing up so much of the amphibious battle group and what it entails. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the way she looks, really pleased with the fact that she's come together at last. Of note, she's got wet exhaust system here, so reducing infrared, and that stuff on the hull is just where the exhaust would go up and would leave its mark. She's got an auxiliary diesel outlet here, air intake and air intakes here for the main engines, which on this would be gas turbines low down to keep them out of the way, and they basically just run back to those propeller shafts. But the rest of this is for ballast and for fuel. This is the crew accommodation up here. Again, an AI powered bridge, very lean crew, maybe 12 sailors assigned, and the rest of the space there for accommodation for the Naval Infantry Light Forces. And the good thing about the Sternlanders over the LSMs is because the ramp is at the rear, they can operate in higher sea states and they're faster in the water. Take care. Goodbye.